Hey, you, yes, you. Welcome. Welcome to this course I created. It's based upon the 13 goals for a witch that you see on the screen. Each time we meet, we will work on one of these 13 goals. In the previous 8 videos, we covered know yourself, know your craft, learn and grow, apply knowledge with wisdom, achieve balance, keep your words in good order, keep your thoughts in good order, and celebrate life. Today we delve into number 9, attune with the cycles of Earth. In today's session, we begin with the Sabbats, the 8 points of the wheel of the year. These 8 points are festivals that occur on or around the same day each year. The 8 Sabbats happen during 4 solar events: the summer solstice, winter solstice, spring equinox, and fall equinox, and the midpoints between them, which focus on seasonal changes and farming. These 8 points are the moments when we pause what we are doing and return our attention to Mother Nature. The Sabbats. After these, we will go over the Esbats. Esbats are full moon rituals. There are 13 full moons in all over the space of the year. Yule. We begin at the winter solstice or Yule. It is celebrated on the shortest day of the year, about December 21st. For many pagans, Yule is a key part of the life cycle of the child of promise, conceived in Ostra and born in the winter solstice as the sun child, who will defeat the powers of darkness in the coming spring, ushering in nature's triumphant return. Imbolc, February 1st, celebrates the coming of spring, one of 4 cross-quarter days. Imbolc comes from Old Irish word for in the belly or in the womb, referring to pregnant ewes, a precursor to the lambing season. At Imbolc, the child of promise gives light and energy to the nascent year. Signs of the coming spring are beginning to be seen, and for pagans, this is a time for personal growth and renewed energy. Spring cleaning and handicrafts are customary around Imbolc. With roots in the deep Celtic past, Imbolc was traditionally about ushering in a productive farming season and was dedicated to Bridget, the goddess of healing, smithing, and poetry. Ostra, spring equinox, celebrated around March 21st, when the day has roughly an equal amount of sun and darkness. With Imbolc marking the first stirrings of spring, Ostra is about celebrating spring happening in earnest. Flowers growing tall, trees blossoming, and crops being sown. Eggs, typically painted, symbolize new life. Much of the symbolism and tradition here is related to the new life of spring, the mating season for many animals. The god and goddess couple up, and the child of promise is conceived. The equality of the day partly represents the duality of the nature of the god, his primeval sexual instinct versus his conscious thought. Beltane, the traditional Celtic May Eve, May Day celebration. Belotanos, which is bright fire, has a connection with the Celtic deity Bel. In Irish, Mina Beltane means the month of May. Beltane marks the beginning of summer, the time of year when flora and fauna will flourish, celebrated by the decorating of houses and animals with mayflowers such as primrose and gorse. The fertility of the land represents the god's mature devotion to the goddess, his transition from animal lust to love and commitment. The maypole and the twirling of ribbons around it represent fertility and the spiral of life. Beltane and Samhain are the points in the year where the veil between this world and the other world is at its thinnest, enabling commingling and communication between the living and the dead. Letha, the summer solstice. The god has reached the zenith of his power, the summer solstice being the longest day of the year, and the dawn of June 21st is his crowning glory. This taking on of power by the god as the Sun King and the end of his youthful days running in the greenwood represents the strength and power of the sun over the summer months, though pagans also remember that the god's path is downhill now, the shortening of days until Yule. Lunasa, August 1st, in Irish gathering of Lugh, also known as Lammas, comes from the Anglo-Saxon word meaning loaf mass. At Lammas, the god sacrifices himself before the goddess, her sickle slaying him and his blood spilling onto the land to ensure its continuing fertility in the next wheel of the year. The god moves from being the Lord of Light, which he is until Lammas, to the Dark Lord of Death, which he will be throughout the darkening half of the year. Mabon, autumn equinox, also known as harvest home, and Alban Eliud, light of the water, falls between September 21st and 24th. The autumn equinox is a mystical union. Reincarnation and the spiral of life are strong themes too. Seed and grain, life and death, womb and tomb. Through understanding these mysteries of nature, the god reaches a state of mystical enlightenment and enters the underworld. Here the god dwells with the goddess, now the hag, the queen of the underworld. Samhain, a harvest festival that stretches back to the Dark Ages, Ireland, and possibly into prehistory. Celebrated from the night of October 31st to the following evening, as the ancient Celtic day ran from sunset to sunset. Samhain may come from an Irish word meaning summer's end. What occurs at Samhain is the end of summer and the return of cattle from their high summer pastures, received by large bonfires. Samhain marks the return of winter and a thinning of the veil between this world and the next, a time of chaos. While there are records of ancient European tribes marking the important points on the solar calendar, there are few records of their paying attention to the lunar cycles, at least as a point for gathering and the working of magic. The idea of meeting monthly at the new moon or bi-weekly at the new and full moons, the Esbat, appears to be a practice introduced by Gerald Gardner, who created modern Wicca over a number of years after retiring to England in the 1930s. Previously, he had been a Mason in Southeast Asia, and while there, he may have learned of the so-called moon lodges, Masonic groups that met monthly according to the lunar calendar. Modern Wicca is built around small, intimate groups of 10 to 20 people, covens, who gather in a culture that is either secular or follows another faith. While several covens may gather for the solar festivals, the Sabbats, to celebrate together, the real work of the coven is done in its Esbats. Common to all Wiccans is the full moon Esbat. Most covens also meet at the new moon. New moon rituals tend to be for personal growth, healing, and the initiation of new ventures. Full moon rituals are for the working of magic, banishing of unwanted influences, and the assistance for those in need. Central to the Esbat is the ritual act of drawing down the moon, magically raising a whirlwind of power, and symbolically drawing it into the circle within which the coven meets. As the energy is released, each member feels an empowerment for their life. Before we wrap up this session, let's look at the days of the week. Monday or Moon Day, ruled by the moon. The symbolic color is white or silver, and it's the best time for spells that involve water, psychic goals, emotions, dreams, home, family, astral travel, and healing. Tuesday, Thursday, ruled by Mars. The symbolic color is red. Tyr was the Norse god of law, justice in the sky, and heroic glory. It's the best time for spells that involve fire, passion, enthusiasm, courage, and energy. Wednesday or Woden's Day, ruled by Mercury. The symbolic color is yellow. Woden is a major deity of Anglo-Saxon and Germanic polytheism. The best time for spells that involve air, communication, knowledge, mind, and creativity. Thursday or Thor's Day, ruled by Jupiter. The symbolic color is purple or royal blue. Thor is the son of Odin, the protector, defender, sky god, and the image of living strength. The best time for spells involving business growth, success, expansion, good luck, and generosity. Friday, or Freya's Day, ruled by Venus. The symbolic color is green or pink. Freya is the Teutonic goddess of love, beauty, and fecundity, otherwise known as prolific procreation. She is the leader of the Valkyries and one of the Vanir in Norse mythology. It's the best time for spells that involve beauty, love, pleasure, passion, or money. Saturday or Saturn Day, ruled by Saturn. The symbolic color is black. It's the best time for spells that involve the elements earth, banishment, protection, release, removing obstacles, binding, manifestation, and resolving issues. Saturn brings unfinished business to our attention so we can deal with them. Sunday, ruled by the sun. The symbolic color is gold. It's the best time for spells that involve happiness, joy, well-being, prosperity, success, and abundance. This now concludes our 9th session together. I truly hope this inspires you to attune more with the cycles of the earth. Thank you, and be well. And as always, here's my contact info if you have any questions, concerns, complaints, or even compliments.